Well, this is another example of like we should not underestimate how stupid this generation is. And the real problem is I mean the result of this so that they scammed the 70-year-old for everything. So the typical Enkeltrick, right? So that's not surprising. Surprising is how they don't dare to talk about it before it's too late. So I have a date, miteinander reden. I mentioned so on the 2nd of February. My parents were here earlier. It's still, you cannot even start talking. So last time, my father noticed that the orchidee looks kind of dry. So it's just like it's a prime example of someone that has no clue. So it was actually the worst thing to give them water. They basically need a couple spoons full of water a week, and it's very complicated. So you basically have to save them. So this is the part that happens because it's too much water. So you kind of have to clip it here, and then there will be new. If they don't die. Because of too much humidity. So that's just an example. Like my father is a bit older than 70 now. He has no clue. But he pretends, has a strong opinion. And the biggest problem is they are in so many aspects. Like, of course, this is something you could look up with ChatGPT, or even better, ask my flatmate. Those are like, maybe not like children, but like a cat, right? So yeah, that's the dynamics in a nutshell. And the even like for me, I don't care if those. I really don't care about plants. That's just maybe it's my problem. But I do care for nature. So this time I encountered a couple with the dog, not on a leash. They were already. So I made this recording where I went back there to exactly show. So here book. So like in FFA, they were already they were already like there is no like good view of it here. So, but maybe later. So this is Well, so they went here, and you are not even allowed to walk without the dog. And so I catched them somewhere already there. And it was again the bussard. I think it might be the same bussard as last time that kind of alarmed me. So it's really like because I cursed now several times. At least the predatory birds know me. it impresses them like nothing, because like this is a fun game, like to see me rage on those dog owner people. But this time I kind of apologized and asked, because they were at least like 200 people they encountered. So they were at least already an hour walking in the labeled Naturschutzgebiet. And well, their excuses are also, we didn't see the sign, we are not from here. But my main problem is that 200 people didn't mention anything. They are walking there with their dogs. There are even ornithologas that are observing the birds. No one dares to mention something around here. And it's not just around here. That's the real issue. Like my mother as well. So when I, again about my plans. So it was project 2025, which is now over. So the next project is up to 2027. So my family doesn't want a 7-minute version. What I plan for the next months. They just don't dare. They just want to avoid it. And like, I don't know if you ask them, like, I should just disappear. Like it was in the past, and this is this bridge, this connection, they don't get on their own, because there was this SP podcast, and our president, well, it's a co-presidium, so there are two. The female burned out. The president, he has no clue. Like it's like my father, he never thought about that this would actually be helpful, that you need psychotherapy when you have like a burnout like his co-presidenting. So like it's they and then they try to blame that on the other like on the other parties, on the other politicians, that they are not prepared. And that's the real issue. Like it's all connected. So we don't have a nature department, we don't have a health department that is functioning, but the result is that I would need to prepare that, because if we wanna have a functioning political Green Party, so something like I don't know, libertär progressive Green Party. So the rest should be like the bourgeoisie that has already by default will not even see the door that leads to the kingdom of Allah. Obviously, like that's obvious, right? But the issue is, like my father, like he wants to avoid all those social, like the important topics. That the issues that the Green Party, like everywhere around here, has no agenda at all. So because we have this situation with the birds, the big like hotel for the birds, well, it's important, the lake and everything. So nature is a big part. So it makes sense, but it's basically the same. So the left and the Green Party are basically one. So in the other regions you don't have the Green Party. Around here, my hope is that we have a Green party. That but then you need, and my father just doesn't want like everything besides what he's familiar with, like gets avoided, and that's why he's a complete like. I'm so in those books where they start over, reincarnate. Yes, I'm by definition a complete vegetable, but my father, like, look at them. They are so much worse, and there is no reason for that. And then you have my mother that boycotts everything because she, like, yeah, it's difficult politics. That already over. So like, why do they waste our oxygen? I don't get it. And it's this obvious. And of course, my parents are compared to the rest of those 10,000 souls, like Schmirike combined with Einsiedeln. Well, there are way useless oxygen consumers. So it's like that cannot continue. Like what are those? Like what are they doing? Like it's this stupid and like this empty and like I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like once you like it's hilarious and this sad and this like but I mean like the problem is the same so younger than my mother, part of my family system. So I mentioned her in the was the first peer accompaniment. I didn't know about that system before. So for her it was really like that. When her father died, it was probably a suicide. So in early 60s, so right before the Pensionsalter, so before you 65 is like the age you go in rent naturally around here. So there the godmother, so like the related aunt, the sister of her father, pretended for more than a year until the Rentenalter that so she continued the business. So they hit that, and they were onlookers back then as well. So now you can argue they are 70, 75 now, but no, that's how they did it 40 years ago, and the problem is the more you analyze, like that's the reality, and they try to avoid. They do everything against what the movement of Jesus would be about, the Evangelium, that you bring all truths to light. It's the opposite. They are doing the opposite. Now, in this case, it was that Sibyl, so the godmother, never talked to her again, and as far as it was possible, didn't let her inherit. So the problem is my parents are this stupid that they don't even get that it's probably worse than if they get scammed. For me, it's probably worse. So if we cannot talk about it, well, I would rather see that my father like gambles my part on like sports betting or whatever. There is at least a chance that it multiplies. They are this stupid, and it's really like with the orchideas. This example, everyone agrees it's this obvious. But when it comes to something different, that is way more important. So I don't care that the SP president has. There are some topics which it's just like politics is just an annoying job, and you can. But with this topic, when it comes to mental health and how they are failing at their job, so like. They are just pretending. It's all around these dynamics. Everyone involved. So my Kirchenratspräsident uncle, he would need to he would need to ask in the church, what is our purpose? The Seelsorgeeinheit, so the pastoral assistant, it doesn't work since Hans Hüppi, so and it's obvious, but you still have them as a like Anlaufstelle. So their purpose, the reason we pay church taxes are this and maybe funerals and weddings, right? But he's too scared. He doesn't even think. So that would be the first step. So there something has to change. It's the same. So I asked this Christkatholisch, Altkatholisch. So I didn't. They even wrote back. He will soon call back in that context. Nothing happens, of course. And that's the worst. So that's the same when I asked for Seelsorgegespräch. They even it's not urgent. It's not urgent. I just want because Hans Hüppi is no longer available. I wanted to continue this. 2 months later, you ask, it was even worse in Einsiedeln. There I waited like 6-7 months. Then if you ask them again, but everything they do is like that for the last 3 years. And that's what they are not used to. If you believe in Allah. And I was able to show that, so you better start accepting that, right? So if you are too stupid to follow that step by step, you didn't have the opportunity. That's excusable. Not you are still responsible for your part of the wager. And yes, you couldn't torture my aunt, my mother into reason. That's no excuse for the surrounding. Like my uncle, my father, they are not like somewhere I got this brain from. They are not that much different. So that's even worse. For their outlook, it's even worse. Now the next step is that you stop excusing someone like an authority, like this former Nationalrat or the psychiatrist. So it's obvious that the psychiatrist can no longer do his job. He has to. So the boss of the ambulatorium. But they would need even more the politics side, the decision makers. So of course the lead psychiatrist is like a CEO now. It's his job to pretend that it's still working. But the rest doesn't. And the problem is that they just don't want to bother with the content. It's always in all those examples, it's this dynamics. And this is this unnecessary suffering. It's this far from GTO. And we all just lose in the longer run because we don't work on our stupidity. That's all it is, because they are too lazy to grow up. Then you would have insights from someone that works in the dementia. So because it was probably dementia that it was easy to trick this guy, but that doesn't work. You cannot afterwards claim you will not get the money back. That's another problem, right? She's responsible for like 200, and then you have this stupid shitty newspaper from around here, and like from the circus, the family Knie, they wanna like rescue the hospital. So it doesn't work like that. You have to look into things. If you just enable another like multi-millionaire to make money, like we have the example in Einsiedeln. So there is this privatized situation where the Amenos group. So I know how that went down, and all of my family that were involved, like the whole list, they just pretend they don't get it. So they grind their mirrors, they paint the corners in Goethe, Farbentheorie. But this speech shouldn't be me. That should be the speech of my uncle, the Kirchenratspräsident. That should be the speech of my father. That should be the Bundesrat. That should be the president of Switzerland. So that is nothing. They have nothing. They bring nothing to the table. And then it's all about pretending. Like look at this. Look at those dwarfs in our like Urs-Li, for example. Like and then you have to accept. So my aunt is like best friends with the Kantonsrat that is from the Fideputin side, so FDP, because they own, like they have this. So that will be the last of my raging for this year. So it's close to full moon, and we have the. So we have. Here is like they own like a hut, so Kühe-Mittler, so somewhere there, and so because I don't know, because they want to use this they keep up, they try to keep up, they consider them like friends, but they are in every regard the enemy politically. And like I encountered, so Brigitte Pohl is an elected Kantonsrätin as well. I encountered her. Like this is one of the worst encounters. Maybe the mother of K. It was really on the. This woman is this stupid, and it doesn't help to pretend like And yes, that has to change. It cannot continue like that. It shouldn't. It should have ended before I was born. And this is the result. This is the reason for our suffering. And yes, that's the reason the whole world is suffering. Without some mental stability, without some grown-up people, which needs an education system, which needs psychotherapy, which needs so because they are all too scared, so they it doesn't work. It doesn't work in every regard, and then it's all about pretending that. So you don't get, in my case, as I'm showing here, you don't get an appointment with an FSP Anerkennung, psychology, so that assistance from the which is the Auftrag of the Kanton. So that's the reason we we pay taxes. This is why we have an ambulatorium. Doesn't work. They all, if they can, leave because they don't want to be responsible. So you have even less of psychology know-how in the canton organized psychiatric business, and the rest is not covered by insurances. So you have this two-class system that just the rich have access, but it's not just that. There is that they avoid this back and forth with the system. They just they are such snowflakes. They just no one is fighting the right battles no longer. Like that was a branch of science, Chernyshevsky. So it's such a mess. It's such a mess. And from top to bottom. Like it would be different if like the boss psychiatrist has to do this back and forth with the money. Well, I would accept that, but no, all the other psychologists, psychiatrists on him, they don't do the job. They just pretend like. Ja, mein arme Nervenbündeli. But it's like I don't know, the upteenth time I have the same story, and like you cannot deliver it more direct. If they are not able to, if they don't want to think on their own, well, that's the result. That's the result, and no one will like this.